Hey, how you doing? It's me. We are going to be doing a little bit of review on polynomials. So let's make sure you have a piece of paper out and ready to go. If there's a sub in here, make sure that you pause the video and give students enough time to get a piece of paper. All right, I'm gonna get rid of my ugly mug. Okay, bye ugly mug. And we're gonna start off with this set of problems. Okay, finding our magic numbers. I'll help remind you on how to set up the X. Okay, so this is our problem. So, for this particular one, I'll do the first two. Remember, on the top, you take the first and the last one, A and C, and you multiply them together. So 4 times 12 is 48, adds up to be negative 19. And then we got to find two numbers that multiply to be 48 and add to be negative 19. Number two, okay, remember, A times C, so 6 times negative 6 is negative 36. Then it adds up to be negative 5. So we're looking for two numbers that multiply to be negative 36 and add to be 5. So pause the video and give the students 8 minutes to complete as many of these as they can. All right, I'm going to go over the first couple in detail. And from there, then I will start giving answers. So for number one, okay, remember the important number we're using our calculators of 48. So I'm going to start with 1 times 48. 1 times 48 is 48. 1 plus 48 is 49. That's not it. Next number is 2. And remember, we typed the 48 into our calculator first. So 48 divided by 2 is 24. 2 plus 24 is 26. Not it. Next number is 3. 48 divided by 3 is 16. Well, 3 plus 16 is positive 19. Okay? Wait, that's not 3 times 16. Is it 48? Yes, it is. Okay. All right. Now, I did it wrong, didn't I? Yes. Okay. Sorry. I had to rethink there for a second. My brain was turning off. Now, that adds up to be positive 19. I need negative 19. So I need negative times a negative. We got to remember I can do negative times a negative, and that'll make a positive still. But now when I do negative times or negative plus negative, I end up with negative 19. So it's negative 3 and negative 16 are our two numbers. Okay. For the second one, here, we are starting with the negative 36. Okay. So 1 times negative 36 is negative 36. 1 plus negative 36, that's negative 35. Not it. Next number is 2. Start with negative 36 in the calculator. Negative 36 divided by 2 is negative 18. 2 plus negative 18 is negative 16. Not it. Next number is 3. Start with negative 36 in the calculator. Negative 36 divided by 3 is negative 12. 3 plus negative 12, that's negative 9. Not it. Next number is 4. Negative 36 divided by 4 is negative 9. 4 plus negative 9, there it is, negative 5. So my two numbers are 4 and negative 9. Okay. For the rest of these, multiplies to be 18, adds to be negative 11, that'd be negative 2 and negative 9. Multiplies to be 36, adds to be 15, that's going to be 3 and 12. And number 5, multiplies to be 12, adds up to be negative 7, that's going to be negative 4 and negative 3. Multiplies to be 30, adds up to be negative 31, that's going to be negative 1 and negative 30. Got to remember to be able to do negative times a negative on that one. Number 7, multiplies to be negative 28, adds up to be negative 12. That's going to be 2 and negative 14. Multiplies to be negative 12, adds up to be 11. That's going to be negative 1 times 12, negative 1 and 12. Okay. Number 9 multiplies to be 8, adds to be negative 6. That's going to be negative 2 and negative 4. And the last one multiplies to be 4, adds to be 5. That's going to be 1 and 4. Okay, so those are our magic numbers. We'll continue working on that when we get back from break. Okay. Next set. Okay. These are what we're going to be practicing a lot of today. Like to have the sub pause video and want them to give you about 8 minutes to complete these problems. All right, number 1. I want you to notice number 1 has a plus sign in front of it. Okay, so I need to check for both parts of the distributive property. I have 2 distribute parts that need to be checked separately. Okay, so in front of the first parenthesis, positive 1, that's good. The second parenthesis, positive 1, that's good. So I can just add up my like terms. 2 and 6 go together. Negative 6x squared is and 2x squared go together. And then I can't forget about the negative 8x. So I would have x squared is first. That'd be negative 4x squared. Remember, when we add, we don't mess with exponents. Minus 8x plus 8. Okay, on the second one, there is a minus sign in between them. So this is not a 2x2 box. I have to check these separately. Positive 1, that one's good. Negative 1, I have got to distribute. Okay, so I have negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 7r to the third is positive 7r to the third. I'm going to scratch this off. Now I'm just looking for like terms and adding them up. Okay, so the r to the thirds, 2 plus 7 is 9. Remember, when we add, we don't mess with exponents. And then our numbers, 2 plus negative 1 is positive 1. Okay. Number 3, if I look between these parentheses, there is nothing there. So that is multiplication. I have 2 things times 2 things. I'm going to be making a 2x2 box. So I've got 2b plus 8 and 4b minus 7. And I do my multiplication. Now I'm multiplying, I got to remember to add exponents. 2b times 4b is 8b to the second power. 2b times negative 7 is negative 14b. Down to the 8. 8 times 4b, that is 32b. And 8 times negative 7 is negative 56. Add up my like terms. I would have 8b squared. The b's get added up. 32 plus negative 14. That would be positive 18b minus 56. Okay, number 4. Okay, number 4. Okay, there is nothing in between the parentheses. So this is 2 things multiplied to 3 things. I need a 2x3 box. On the side with 2, make sure you put your binomial, the 5x minus 6. On the side with 3, make sure you put your trinomial, 7x squared, 3x, and 7. And then I got to remember when I'm multiplying to add exponents. 5x times 7x squared is 35x to the third power. 5x times 3x is 15x to the second power. Then 5x times 7 is 35x. Done with the 5x, down with the negative 6. Negative 6 times 7x squared, that's negative 42x squared. Negative 6 times 3x is negative 18x. And negative 6 times 7 is negative 42. I'm done multiplying. I'm going to transition to adding up my like terms. So x to the third is first because that's the biggest exponent. Then my x squareds, these 2 go together. Negative 42 plus 15, that would be negative 27. The x's here get added up. Negative 18 plus 35, that would be positive 17x minus 42. Now, the last one. This is not the power property. That is a binomial. So remember, when we talked about this problem, we have to do a 2 by 2 box because it is really 4n minus 1 multiplied to 4n minus 1. You've got to do the 2 by 2 box so you make sure you do all 4 multiplications. And now we multiply. 4n times 4n, that's 16n squared. 4n times negative 1 is negative 4n. Down with negative 1. Negative 1 times 4n is negative 4n. And negative times a negative is positive. Okay, so I would get 16n squared minus 8n plus 1. Okay? Now we're going to be working on the review packet. Okay, so if the sub would please pause. Don't pause. If the sub would please pass out the review packet. The sub does have the answer key. If there's a sub here, they have the answer key for you to check your work. Make sure you do turn it in at the end of the hour. And we will see y'all later. Bye-bye.